All right, hey everyone. So this is the introduction to the Survey of Chemistry lab. Okay, CRN is 51508. I'm John Geary. I'll be teaching the summer courses for Survey of Chem 1 and Survey of Chem 2 at Columbus State University. All right, so I'm just going to kind of walk through how the course is going to work, what programs you're going to need, and where do you go to get started. Okay. So first off, we're going to click on My CSU, and then that's going to take you to this page. And then once you get here, email, you want to use this Gmail to kind of communicate with me because if you use Cougar View, so Cougar View's over here on the left. Once you click on that, it'll take you to the home page. This message system actually runs through the USG server, and it is hard for me to communicate when I'm not at the house. So use Gmail here instead of the Cougar View message system, which is right here. Okay. Also, you're going to want to use Gary underscore. Well, here I'll show you my email here. When you click on your Survey of Chemistry lab, so this is lab section VO1. The V is designates that it's an online course, and this is the lab. So most of you are also taking my lecture course. For those of you that are not or just taking the lab, you'll only have to be concerned about this Cougar View. So, but the lab and the lecture kind of go hand in hand. Whatever we learn in lecture, we cover in lab that week as well, or not the week because we go so fast in the summer. But that chapter goes with a certain lab. Chapter 1 will go with Lab 1, Chapter 2 with Lab 2, so on and so forth. And that pretty much works all the way up until the end. Now, as for assignments, all of your assignments are going to go through Chem 21. Okay, so if you come to Cougar View and click on Content up here in the top, all these little tabs with Course Home, Content, Assessments, click on Content and it'll bring you over here and you'll see these different modules on the left hand side. I have loaded up every module going up to the midterm. And so this is kind of work at your own pace. The midterm is like June the 3rd, I believe, June the 3rd through June the 5th. So you need to stay on pace, maybe a lab every 2 or 3 days, something like that, because you've only got, 2.5 weeks or maybe 3 weeks right at to get ready for the exam. So you need to have all these assignments completed. Those that are completed, I will return as we get closer to the midterm so you can kind of see where if you missed anything. Um, but those of you that do not complete it by the midterm won't get your grades until later on in the semester. So have everything turned in before, have the first four turned in before the midterm, and then the last ones are not due until the end of the course. Um, but technically, there are no due dates. Okay, this is just if you want to get your grades returned, uh, then the earlier the better. All right. So let me look at the syllabus. Well, the syllabus is here on the bottom. I'm going to move it up to here. Okay, we'll kind of quickly go over that and then we'll talk about what you need to do for your first day in the course. All right, so this just kind of talks about the materials that we're going to use. We're going to use Chem 21 Labs. So there's a link here that can send you to Chem 21 Labs. There is no clothing requirement because we never meet in person, but you do need to know the safety information. Okay, so I'm going to provide, you're going to do a safety worksheet and you're also going to sign a safety waiver, which is not quite ready yet, but will be hopefully shortly. And I'll put that up so that everybody can see it. and get that filled out as soon as it's ready. Jamie Gonzalez, our coordinator, is still getting that together. So here are the instructions for right when you get started with the course. Watch the videos starting with safety. You can find a link to that video here. Okay, don't use the link to send this ACS worksheet because it won't work. All right, people keep trying to click on that. Use the link that I provided that'll send you straight to YouTube. If you try to click on this document, it'll send you to some expired page that doesn't work anymore. And just so that we know what I'm talking about, I'm going to pull it up. You see this little link here? It says it's going to send you to the ACS video, but it doesn't. So what you want to do is watch the video through this link. It sends you straight to YouTube.
What's it like to learn?
Cancel that. And then you fill out the worksheet here. Okay, this is a PDF that you can print off and fill out, or you can type in however you want to do it. And then you'll go to assessments, assignments, and there should be an assignment there. I think I did the grade. I hadn't created the assignment yet. Yeah, okay. So there'll be an assignment here under assessments, assignments. There'll be ACS worksheet. And I'll get that set up here in just a minute. Let's talk about CHEM 21 and how you're going to want to access that. So I've provided some login directions here. You'll click on this and it'll open up a link to CHEM 21 and kind of explain how you're going to log in. Now when you first log in, it's going to ask for your email. Make sure that you're not using the add one version of your email. You just want to do, for example, mine is Gary_John1@columbusState.edu. Don't put the ab1.columbusState.edu. It won't work. It won't recognize it, and it'll say that you haven't been registered for the course. Now, once you register for the course, make sure y'all can still see what I'm seeing. You will get in here. Don't have that saved for some reason. I'm going to change off of that for just a second. Okay. Once you get to your course, you'll see a page something like this. Okay, now here's where all the labs are. When you get ready to start a lab, you'll just click on, I think it's something like work assignment over here. All right, and it'll pull up the lab report sheet. So this is where you enter in all your information. Okay, each lab report is essentially automatically graded, but there are parts that I have to go in and check and confirm. So there's a PDF lab guide here that you can click on, and it'll pull up the introduction to the lab. It'll kind of explain what you're going to be doing in lab, and it also has a physical version of the report sheet. But you want to make sure that you actually fill out everything here in CHEM 21 on the online program, because that's how I access it. There's nowhere for you to turn in a physical copy of the lab report sheet. All right. And so this works how it'll just give you little these tabs on the right are kind of how you run through the program. I clicked on start, and then this is asking for a one sentence purpose statement. I'm just going to type blah 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 and submit, and then go to next problem. And then as you start entering in numerical answers, it'll give you feedback and say, well, you don't have enough significant figures, or you don't fall within the certain range. Okay, so pay attention to this stuff on the right. Let me just type in something and see if it takes it. It is within range. Data is not numeric. Let's try something that's not in range. 50. Resubmit. Okay, it took that too. But if there's a problem, it'll tell you and it'll say that's not correct. Let me resubmit that. And so this is actually pretty lenient. So pay attention to this information on the right. If you get something wrong, it usually tells you that you get something wrong. All right. And so you can just go through the whole lab report like that, filling in the answers online, and at the end of it, I'll be able to see everything that you've answered. Um, and in certain cases, you can email me and we can reset it, like you didn't get a certain part right or you didn't understand it correctly. So I can go in and maybe reset it. You can go through and do it again before I actually grade it. All right. Let's go back to Cougar View and check out a couple more things. So following the instructions, we've watched the video, we completed a worksheet that we submitted to Cougar View Assessments Assignments ACS worksheet. Uh, the safety agreement and waiver is a link that I will provide and I'll probably put here in the main announcements. Okay, so just pay attention to that. I might email you I might email everyone and send it to everyone so that we can get that completed. Um, and then let me talk about each lab individually. So as I said, there's no real due dates. What you're going to do is you're going to click on each one of these modules. And once you get into one of these modules, you'll see that I've provided a PowerPoint that kind of goes through the lab, the PDF document, which I showed you from CHEM 21. That was this PDF document here that we looked at that had the physical lab report sheet, the introduction to the lab, and all of the different procedures that we do throughout the lab. And then what else do we have? The most important though are these walkthroughs. Okay, so at the top of each one of these, Lab 2 walkthrough, some of them might not say walkthrough, they'll just say Lab 3, atoms, elements, and electronic configuration, Lab 4, molecular geometry, link. So look for the lab. Those are the main videos where I kind of walk you through. And so once you click on it, it'll take you to YouTube.
So I've got my essay written.
I don't want that to play, but it'll take you to a YouTube link, and I'll go through uh, CHEM 21 and the report sheet a little bit. I'll show you the videos of the actual labs being conducted when that's necessary, um, and explain everything that you should be taking away from the lab. All right, so that's pretty much it, and you work at your own pace. The midterm is June the 3rd. I'm going to go back to the syllabus. I don't think I put anything on there, but I will make announcements. Let me see if I even put the midterm on there. I didn't. So the midterm is about June the 3rd through June the 5th. I'll give you a couple days. It'll be like a Friday to Sunday, and that'll give everybody enough time to go in there and take it. For those of you that are in both courses, you're going to want to take you're going to have to take the exam in a lecture and in the lab, okay? So I post a practice exam that gives you bonus points for the exam. That'll be a practice exam and a real exam in lecture, and then also a practice exam and a midterm exam in lab. So for those of you that are in both courses, you're essentially taking like two mini exams and then two full exams just for the midterm, and then you'll do it again for the final. So this summer course goes real fast. We're in here like 5 weeks total for the whole Survey of Chemistry 1. We're going to do material for 2 weeks, so you need to cover all of this, lab 1 through 4, and the midterm review by the end of next week. Uh, let's say, look at my calendar real quick. Um, by right? Because I'm going to do the review about May the 30th. All right, you want to have these assignments done so I can grade them, return them. There's no due date really, but if you don't know what you missed, then it's going to be hard to do good on the midterm. I mean, people do well without having them graded and returned, but um, I think it's just smart if you go ahead and stay uh, on par, keep up the pace, and don't fall behind. Because once you fall behind, you'll get frustrated, and if something goes wrong, it'll compound issues, and then you end up with bad grades. So, uh, email me if you have any problems, if you catch up with any, if you get hung up with anything. If you're a late addition to the course and it says that you haven't been registered for Chem 21, you may need to email me so that I can get you back into, so I can load you onto the register. All right, because I did this based on the class roll that I had like Sunday, and if you added the course late, you might not have been on my list. All right. So I think that's it. You're kind of, I'm here if you need me. You can always email me. I put my email here on, it's on the syllabus, but it's also here on the announcements page. You want to check back here often just to make sure I haven't changed anything, or when I post the safety waiver link, it'll probably be here. And then as we get closer to the exam, I'll start making announcements and videos and posting here as well. Okay? So y'all email me if you have any questions, and I will see y'all next time. All right. Bye.